Guys, just thought I'd do one of these talking head videos. Not going to be on here long. Hope you guys are doing well. See my view from behind my backyard. Cool, ain't it? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, hope you guys had a great day. I just thought I'd hop on here real quick. And obviously, this is showtime for me because obviously this is what I'm called to do. This is one of my gifts, right? To teach and to help people find out, just like I'm finding out and have found out, what's truly on the inside of me and what I can actually do. My only regret is that I wish it was like a lot of things. I wish I'd known this a lot younger, right? But anyway, man, I'm just out here getting some. Well, let me see. I wouldn't say sun. I'm in the shade right now, but I got some sun a little bit earlier. Hopefully, you're getting some sun because we need it. You can't stay in this body long, obviously. Um, if you don't get enough sun, then sickness and disease will ravage your body. You know, and most importantly, your brain, because sickness and disease can't live, right? When you're out in the sun. I know. We were taught, you know, to not be in the sun much, and yes, in moderation. I get that, but you ever wonder why that we're marketed to about, all these different, the flu season and all this stuff like that, kind of like hurricane season and this season and that season, and it's usually during what, the fall, headed into the winter. That's because it's less sun, right? And a lot of people are in the inside, so it'll destroy your immune system if you don't get enough sun, right? So come on, think logically, guys. Do a little bit of research, okay? Everybody knows that we have a sick care model. So, so here's why I want to hop on this and get on here, and I'm gonna make this as straightforward as I can and as concise, and I'm trying to articulate this. And a lot of times I got to come on here and say the same thing, but I have to say it at different angles, right? Say it in different ways. Okay. What's going on, Patty? Patty P. I'm doing well. Hopefully you are. So let me start with this. If you're new, thank you for hopping on here, guys. I really appreciate that. This channel is not for me. It's actually for you. And the pillar of this channel is those 5 questions that all of us, a lot of times talk about, to ourselves in our head, right, in our minds. And maybe we confide in 1 or 2 people. And, what are the 5 questions? Who are we? Why are we here? So you got identity, right? Why are we here? Purpose. Okay, where are we from? Origin. Okay, what we can do. Obviously, those are the gifts and everything like that. And then where we're headed, the vision. Okay, so a lot of people ignore this because we're programmed to ignore this. But I would say this to the people who hang around this channel and apply the laws and principles that I've learned through the years and being mentored by multimillionaires and doing my own research for the last 25 years and applying it in my life. And not, and I don't like to, success does have to do with the financial realm. And as I said before, my last big project with one of my consultant companies, I was able to do a 40-day project, and I'm owed probably about 150,000 in 40 days. And most people in the world don't make that, right? And it's not really real money. It's just zeros and ones. It's just digits, in the fiat system. Cash is actually not real money if you look at the Constitution, and most importantly, look at the Supreme Constitution called the Bible. So I'll leave that. I'll let you do the research on that. So. But as you already know, cash is not real money. It's just fiat. That's why they call it fiat, fake. right? It's a smoke screen. It's a balance sheet. It's a ledger, right? Zeros and ones. It's an entry form that somebody puts in the computer. Okay. So I said all that to say this is that if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Go back to my library. You'll see a lot of great things in there. Okay, with different topics. Just reiterating, take time out to listen to it 2 or 3, 4, 5 times. The more you listen to it, the more it'll get you reprogrammed to the success that's actually already inside you. Okay, so here's why I wanted to hop on this. And I was just listening to one of my mentors, and he was talking about the end. So the King, the Creator, and the Lord, He knows the end from the beginning. Okay. And see, the reason that you're listening to me is because you already won, right? And I already talked about this before. I gave you the example of the manufacturer and the product, right? So we are a product, so to speak, and the King and the Lord and Creator is the manufacturer. So just generally speaking, when you look at the lines of distribution, there is no product makes it to the market, right? Unless it's already done. Okay. So the fact of the matter that you're listening to me now and you were born when you were born, okay, you were conceived, that's when conception starts. Conception means image, right? Okay. Self-image. So if just for instance, if a baby was terminated at conception, it's still murder, right? Even though that mankind changes it because for monetary reasons, right? And just getting rid of people who are significant. Okay, so nobody's a mistake. Okay, all right, now get this. So the reason why we love winners is because we know innately we are a winner. Okay, did you hear what I just said? Type winner in the chat box. Okay, type winner in the chat box. NK, what up, yo? I appreciate that, man. So yeah, this is a safe place here. This is a safe place here. I appreciate you saying you like my content. So this is a vast amount of years, a lot of books, a lot of hours, over 10,000 hours of reading, being mentored, applying the principles and laws and everything. And, I said, I can't just keep this. I got to give this stuff away, right? And I'm excited about my first book. And my goal is to get it out before the end of the year. To have a digital and also be in print also too. So give me some time with that. Allow me some time with that, right? But let me get back to my example, guys. So listen, so that's why we like winners, right? Many of you watching the World Cup, whatever your country, and we like winners, right? And we hate to see losers, right? But we associate with winners is because we know deep down in the personal, private chambers of our mind, we know in our spiritual DNA, in our physical DNA, we know that we're winners. Okay, we do know that. We just don't know how to. Okay, we are desiring for power. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that except trying to get the power through the wrong channels. Okay, some people use other people to get power. Some people hurt other people. Some people rape, rob, pillage, all that stuff like that. We all know that's wrong because that's why the people who do that, that's why they do it in darkness and secret. Okay, they don't do it out in the open, right? And if they do, they go run and hide because they know righteous people will come after them, right? And they will be punished, right? And again, the reason why we like winners is very simple, is because we are one, right? See, biologically speaking, researchers scientifically speaking, and this has been studied, that when your dad and mom got together, they both got excited, at least for 30 seconds, right? Right? And it was just them two, hopefully, and the Creator and the Lord, right? And your dad released at least 500 million sperm. Okay, I didn't say 500,000. I didn't say 500. I said 500 million. Look it up. Okay, so there was a race, and they were all racing. And to be so microscopically small, nano small, right? That's a long race to get to that egg, right? Your mother, right? The soil, follow me now. The soil, right? And the seeds, those seeds are running. So who won the race? Put in the chat box race. Who won the race? You won the race. I won the race, right? Your siblings won the race. Are you listening to me? Okay. And so since you already won the race, you've already been equipped. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Okay. Now, you're going to make mistakes. I made a lot of them, right? I've corrected a lot. I've had to apologize a lot. I had to say, forgive me a lot. I had to forgive a lot of people, right? Those are things that kind of release that. Oh, hey, please do me a favor. Don't hold all in your emotions, okay? You can get sick like that, right? Learn and research breathing techniques, okay? Here's why. Because when you hold those emotions in, guess what happens? You're holding them inside your brain, your soulless part, your realm, your emotions. That's what is part of your soul, mind, will, emotions, and intellect. But they also inhabit your organs. Okay, I don't know if you knew that they inhabit your organs. See, where this body is a cellular machine, right? A salt battery cellular machine, magnificently, wonderfully made. Okay, it's an amazing mechanism. It's an amazing organism. Okay, and so if you don't release that, then it accumulates just like radiation. That's why 6G is not good for us. Okay, and even though they hid a lot of this, the effects of 6G, it mainly affects your brain. Okay, because it's used as weaponry, right? And a lot of you guys have come across this and know this. Our intelligence, I wouldn't say our intelligence agency, that's part of the corporation, but the intelligence agencies, right? In this country and other countries, a lot of them have this type of weaponry where they can actually shoot messaging to your brain, okay? They can impart memories that never was part of your life, right? And that's how you can turn a man or woman against their family, against each other. That's how you can turn a kid against their dad or mom or dad. You get what I'm saying? There's actually, this is public information. It's all over the place. Look at other social media platforms. Type in 5G or 6G weaponry. Okay, it'll come up if you search, right? So I said all that to say this. Okay, so we are already winners. Okay, now we have to, and that's part of our identity, we have to understand who we truly are. Okay, because if you don't understand who you truly are, most people aren't going to act. Okay, and that's how people get caught up in the love of money, not money itself. Okay, it's not cash. We all know zeros and ones in the bank account. That's not money. Okay, real money is gold, silver, precious metals, natural resources. That's what the Creator said money is. Okay, but anyway, so you have to understand, who you are. You have to understand that you're already a winner. So stop telling yourself that you're not a winner. Get away from people who say that you're not a winner, or they're not calling themselves a winner. Why? Because birds of a feather flock together. 2 peas in the pot, 3 peas, 10 peas in the pot, they all clunk together, right? They all, commercialized together. Okay, so that's a part of it right there. That's what helped me excel in life, is because I changed back when I was 22, 23 years old, I had to change my surroundings. I had to change what I watched. I had to change what I listened to. I had to change all that stuff, all the music, all that stuff that was reinforcing that I was a loser, or that I needed to have this drink, or I needed to have this relationship, or I needed to have this, I needed to look at this, I needed to be over here. All the wrong things that were sucking the life force out of me. Okay, so that's what you have to do first. You have to assess where you are right now, okay, to get where you want to be. All right, so you can write down an objective. Here's one of the things, here's one of my other transparencies. Here's what I would do, is I would have an objective, right? And I would just focus on that objective, okay? And I would see where I'm at, and I was like, man, that's a long way away. So here's what you need to do. You need to write checkpoints, okay? So your objective where you want to reach, okay, may be a year or two from now, maybe 5 years from now, but start from the end and work your way back to the beginning and put checkpoints, okay, all the way back to put quarterly checkpoints, right? Write it down, right? See, if corporations have a plan, right? They have a plan. Did you know that hospitals, or should I say pharmaceutical companies and these corporations, have a plan to program you to and help you get sick so you can go get the drugs, right? Did you know that? Okay, this is public information, right? You can use your brain. You guys are very smart. Okay, so if they have a plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan to do all the research, to do all that, to have that, don't you think you need to have a plan too? Okay, people perish because of lack of knowledge. All right, you should write your vision down on a piece of paper, and if money was no object, write down how do you want to live. Okay, now how do you want to live is not based upon you. You say, well, Tariq, why did you say how do I want to live is not based upon me? Okay, listen, if you're succeeding whatever you're succeeding in, then what about your community, right? What about your family? And I'm talking about people who do, okay? I'm not talking about people who don't, okay? What about your best friend, right? That's stuck with you through thick and thin, right? Your ride or die, right? Or your ride or live. Why you gotta die? Okay. If you want to die, die to self, right? Die to that flesh. Okay. Push the ceiling of the flesh down. Okay. Anyway, so I'm on this little. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna mention that. So anyway, if I were you, I wouldn't eat 3 times a day. Okay, that's a tip. Because our brain and our bodies weren't designed to eat 3 times a day. That was a lie. Okay, I know we all grew up. You got the pyramid, the Pindar, right? Eat 3 times a day, eat this, eat that, all that's crap. Throw that stuff out the window, okay? If you look back 8,000 years ago, even 500 years ago, 300 years ago, people didn't eat every day. Sometimes they ate a good meal every other day, okay? Sometimes they ate a good meal one every 2 to 3 days, right? And they still made it. That's why you're here. Your ancestors still made it, right? Okay? So, let me go ahead and wrap this up. So a concept means con means with, sept means idea. Okay. Now what comes before a concept? A concept, before it comes a precept. Okay, pre, as you already know, means before, right? And sept means idea. That means what's in here. What are you thinking? Now here's the problem. Here's the problem with the precepts that we are thinking. It has given birth or fruit to the life that we have right now. Now, I'm not satisfied with all my relationships, none of them, although a lot of them are good, some of them are up and down, you see what I'm saying? So I need to learn more, and read more and apply more, understand more the concepts of relationships based upon the supreme law called the Bible, okay? So, and I know, if you're religious, relax, okay, keep listening to me. Muslims, agnostics, atheists, whatever. Black magic, witchcraft, all, keep listening to me, okay, keep listening. It doesn't matter, okay? Because I know all of y'all looking for power. That's the whole purpose of religion, because people are trying to find that power that we lost back in Genesis, okay? So the Bible is the supreme law principle book, right? And a law book comes from a country, okay? So the kingdom of heaven is the country, all right? So the Bible, those 66 books, actually there's more than that. There's actually 88 books, but I'm just talking about the 66, at least for now, okay? Are actually about 3 things, okay? About a king, all right? His kingdom and his offspring called mankind, that he put here on earth, which is a colony. That's it. So many of you out there who had just heard your pastor this past Sunday, bless, well, I don't want to say bless because that means to injure, right? God to injure. I don't want to say that, Favored is your pastor. Okay. God takes pleasure in your pastor. See, I'm working on this too. I'm being reprogrammed too, because I was taught that word also too. So where was I going with that before I got sidetracked? But anyway, so you get what I'm trying to say, okay? So you guys go ahead and apply what I just told you, okay? Because that's what I did. That's what's working. Um, and that's what the Bible's about, okay? So unfortunately, you heard your pastor talk for about an hour. You probably fell asleep, 10 or 15 minutes. Don't worry. I know they seen you back there drooling in the back. Um, I'm only laughing because I did that before. But that's what the Bible was about, okay? It's not a religious book, okay? The creator's like, what the heck are you guys doing down there? All right, I didn't bring a religion. So anyway, so Christianity can't that's out the window, okay? Not to say there's not truths in it, okay? I'm not saying that. There's a gospels in there, a good news in there, but it's not the good news, okay? The kingdom is the good news, okay? And that's what the king brought. But anyway, let me go ahead and wrap this up and I'll be out of here. All right. So you got precepts, that's our thinking, right? And then you got concepts, as I said before, that's the idea, right? And then we have, after a concept, you have your philosophy, okay? So obviously our precepts and our concepts that we've gathered since however young we are right now, whatever age, has given us the life that we have right now. So if we're not satisfied, which I'm sure 100% of you aren't, just like I'm not, I believe they should be better. My relationships, finances, every area should be better, right? We should always be a student, right? A disciple, a student, okay? And so with that being said, you have to understand that we have to go back and look at those precepts. What are we thinking? Okay, thinking makes it so. King Solomon said that about 4,000, 4 or 5,000 years ago. It's a law. As a man, meaning mankind, thinks, so is he. If you're always thinking about, if one of the lusts of the flesh is running after money, then that's all you're going to be thinking about. Then you'll run over anybody to get the money, right? Or fiat money or real money. It doesn't matter, okay? If it's the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, if it's sex, if it's drugs, if it's sports, whatever it is, if it's binging on social media all day long, why it sucks the life out of you, right? And lowers your IQ. And please take some iodine, raw iodine, okay? Please. That has to do with your brain function. They took it out of the foods. Get some iodine. All right. No, I'm not a doctor. I'm my own physician. Right. I'm not saying I don't go to the doctor, if I absolutely have to. But nobody knows you but you, right? And that's why it's your responsibility, like it's my responsibility, to get educated, right? Basic nutrition. Okay. Got to get some sun, right? You got to get some sun. Who the heck came up with sunglasses too? I don't know why I'm getting off on this. Sunglasses. That's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Did you know that once the sun hits your eyes, I didn't say look into the sun. I just said if you're looking straight, when the sun rays hit your eyes, it creates serotonin, melatonin, and all these onins, right? That helps stimulate the brain, right? They didn't tell you that, did they? Why? Because they knew we were going to be stupid enough, right? Our precepts, right? They gave us the concept and they had us thinking that we needed that, right? The sun was bad sun. We got to cover it up, bad sun, right? If the sun doesn't exist, we can't exist in this body. Our spirit cannot and soul cannot live in this body, right? So the sun, just a little side note, is actually 17 degrees. Okay, I don't know if you knew that. 17 degrees. 18 degrees, guess what will happen? We'll burn up. 16 degrees, we'll freeze to death. Okay? Do you understand what I just said? So it's at the right angle. Well, let me ask you a question. Did you and I do that? No. Who hung the moon? Right? The materials of the rental place that you're living in, right? Or the home that you're in, right? Or whatever, the ground that you're on if you're homeless. Who created all that? Did we do that? Did mankind do that? Nada. Nothing. Right? So we're the product. He's the manufacturer. Wouldn't it be a good idea for us to read the manual? That's all I've done. Well, I'm not saying that's all I've done. But I've read a lot of other books also too. Um, success principle books, self-help books, right? Some of them I liked. Most of them I liked. Some of them I didn't like. Some of them I just read a little bit and I was like, oh crap, I wasted my money on this. But most of them I've read, and all the money that I've invested in this, right? Okay, because nobody's going to invest in you more than you. Okay, not even your own, not your helpmate or your mate, that you're married to. Okay, not your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever like that, right? They may invest in you, but you're going to have to invest in more, right? Because you're you, okay? And I'm not talking about the physical man, okay? So I'm done. Hopefully that makes sense. You got to check your precepts, okay? That's where, if you want to know where you're going to be at 2 years from now, let alone 5 years from now, if you don't change your precepts, what you're watching, what you're listening to, who you're hanging around, your life is going to get worse, okay? I'm not prophesying. It's just a reality, okay? Now let me give you, before I get out of here, let me give you the lineage. So you got precepts, you're thinking, concepts, right? The idea. Then you got the philosophy. That's the system of thinking. That's how we think. When we come across any situation in life, our philosophy is based on those previous two, right? And so if our philosophy is wrong, what comes after philosophy? Our philosophy is going to be our belief system, right? We act out of our belief system, okay? And our belief system determines what? How we act. What we say, how we act. What we say, how we act. And our actions equal our what? Habits, okay? All this creates our self-image, right? From our precepts, right? So guess what? We got to change it. Now, if you're satisfied with it, hey, you don't have to watch me anymore. Go back to doing what you're doing. If you're excited about me going where you're going or your life getting worse, then great, okay? But there's going to be a lot of people, and then I know probably about 80% of you won't listen to me, and you may follow me, and I appreciate that. And some of you are going to come off and on, check in here, there, and that's okay. It's your prerogative, But here's the thing. You have people in your life right now that are over 60, 70, 80. Okay, listen to me carefully. If you don't remember anything I said before, listen to this. I want you to ask them, what are your regrets? And I promise you that they have, just say, hey, what are your top 3 regrets? Honestly, look them in the eye, be serious with them. All jokes aside. And if they're honest, they'll tell you, I wish I knew I was supposed to do this, but I didn't do it. I didn't act on it. I did this. It's going to be mostly of what they didn't do, not mostly of what they did. Okay? Because we all make mistakes, right? We all sin. That means to miss the mark. We means to rebel, to commit anarchy, to commit high treason against the king, right? Yes, you are a king, right? You too, ladies. In the spiritual realm, you're kings. Okay? So, with that being said, it's, as I said before, it's going to be what they didn't do. That's where the regrets come from, okay? I was just thinking about a couple that I had, okay? What I didn't do, what I should have did, you see what I'm saying? But I didn't even try, okay? Well, anyway, I'm out of here. You guys have a great week. I may come on during the weekend. I'm not sure if I feel led. But remember, guys, it starts with you, okay? You've already won. You're already a winner. So we all need you, okay? Wherever you are, whatever worn, torn place, maybe you just had an earthquake like in Venezuela, and you don't think that nobody cares about you. Number one, get on your knees and ask the Most High help to protect you, okay? Because there's a lot of people on ground that want to do harm to you, okay? If it's just you, do it, okay? I don't care if you're 12, I don't care if you're 15, 20, 30, okay? And he will hear you, and he will send help immediately, okay? Now, since you're already a winner, go ahead and write the things down. Go ahead and write your objectives down. And I just want you to know that we need you. We need to see your gift, okay? We don't want you to die physically. Notice I didn't say spiritually. I said physically. When you die physically, many of you will take your gifts with you, Okay, and that's going to be a tragedy because there's a lot of people out there that need to see your gift. You need to serve people your gift through your leadership. Okay, but remember, your future again is not ahead of you. Okay, it's not out there externally. Your future is trapped on the inside of you. Okay, in the form of a seed. Put the seed, right? Put the seed in the right places, right? And the grass will grow, right? Your gift will come out, okay? Don't put the seed in the right areas because of rocks, right? Are you listening to me? Rocks down in there, glass down in the and it won't grow, okay? Debris, right? There's other things in there, okay? So I'm out. You guys have a great night. Have a great week, and I'll holler at you next time. Kingdom Diplomat out. Don't forget to subscribe and like.